You never know what's going on with people that own it or at the manufacturers, so you want to get that checked. Hey guys, so first we told you not to buy an RV. We're gonna link that up here.
Then we told you why it's the perfect time to buy an RV, and we will link that up here also.
Now we're gonna tell you, if you are gonna buy an RV, should you buy new or used? Hey guys, it's MJ from Endless RVing, the channel that brings you the best in RV DIYs, product reviews, RV tours, and so much more. If you're new to the channel, we invite you to subscribe below, hit the notification bell, and if you're back for another video, we thank you for joining us.
So as we have said in numerous videos, the RV industry is blazing right now. Sales are through the roof, record sales. So the question becomes, do you buy a new RV or do you buy a used RV? Now there's going to be pros and cons to both.
So in this video, we're going to break it down for you into new, pros and cons, used, pros and cons. We're going to give you a bunch of just general tips, and then at the end we're going to tell you what our plan is for our next one. All right, so the first is new. It's chilly out here today.
It's getting cold, yeah.
So new pros. Number one, which is why we went new with Nelly, you get what you want, right? We picked the colors, we got the options that we wanted, so it was tailored to exactly what we wanted. So that's a perk that you're gonna get with a new coach. The next one, you get that new smell, right? Maybe some people don't like it. I love the new smell, the new car RV smell. So you're gonna get that as well. The next thing, it's gonna be clean. A lot of times we've walked on so many used coaches and you smell that lived-in smell. Sometimes it's not so bad, sometimes it's pretty raunchy, so.
Depends if people take baths or not.
Right, right, or if you have a smoker or whatever, if people just didn't clean, that's gonna be something that with a new coach, you're not gonna have to worry about. Yeah,
just touching a little bit more what MJ said regarding new. Now, you can buy new off a lot, but even more importantly, you can order, like you said, right? So like when we got our coach, we ordered it in September. It left the factory and 2 days later, it was at the dealership. So the big advantage is it's not sitting on that dealership lot. It's not being exposed to the weather. Don't take this wrong, dealerships, but a lot of dealerships don't really care about the RVs. They're not maintaining them. People are walking in and out of them. We've seen this on new coaches, things missing. So that's a big advantage if that's important to you. Now, as a kind of technology geek, so on the newest RVs, you're gonna get the latest and greatest, right? The newest TVs and the newest technology and all what's great and going on in the RV world, right? If you buy a RV that's 10 years old, you're probably not gonna get that unless you go like real high end. Another advantage, you have a warranty. If it's a motorhome, you're going to have probably 3-year warranty on the chassis, maybe more, depending on what motorhome you get. And then you're going to have a 1 to 2 year warranty on the actual house, usually like a bumper to bumper, except wear and tear. That can save you some costly repairs. And then the third big advantage is that if you do finance, most of the time the interest rates are going to be lower on a new motorhome.
All right, let's talk cons of getting a new RV. So the first one is cost, right? You're gonna pay more. And along those lines, not only are you gonna pay more in most cases, but the second you drive it off the lot, you just lost a lot of money, right? The depreciation is huge on new RVs. So you're paying more, losing more. Another thing is it hasn't been broken in yet, right? So now when we got all of our RVs actually, well, both of our RVs, there were a lot of little things that happened that we had to fix, and if it had been pre-owned, they probably would have been taken care of and we wouldn't have had to do those things.
Now, another thing on breaking in, you could take that another way, right? Especially for motorhome, diesel motorhomes, really, there is a breaking in period. Now, when you buy a new motorhome, especially if you get it somewhere close to the manufacturer, you have full control of that break-in. You could do it improperly. If you buy it used, you're going to hope that whoever had it before broke it in properly. Now, this could cause some big problems if this wasn't done correctly.
So it can be a pro and a con.
So another big con is going to be insurance cost. If you have something new, especially if you have a loan on it, the insurance company is going to charge you more because it's potentially more they're going to have to pay out. Also, regarding monthly payments, you're more than likely to have monthly payments if you buy new. Now we're going to talk about motorhomes because that's what we have. We have a motorhome. Most people are not going to drop, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Most people, there are some people that do that. But if you are buying used and you're buying something that's a quarter of the cost or half the cost, you may be able to buy that without having to take out a loan.
I'm gonna put on my jacket because I can't talk and shiver at the same time. My apologies, this makes me look like an elephant, but I look like a linebacker. Anyway, next one, depending on what you want, you may have to spend even more money to buy the proper tow vehicle. Before we got Nellie, we were actually looking at fifth wheels, and the ones that we wanted, we didn't have the right truck for it. Again, if it's something that you want and you're not equipped with the right tow vehicle, you're gonna spend that much more money.
All right, another con for buying new, especially now, is that the inventory is so low at a lot of dealerships, a lot of regions around the country. So you may be very limited to what you can get. And if you're gonna order something, there are some manufacturers that are a year and a half out from when you order. So we order now, we're getting it in 2022.
Right, show hauler.
Show hauler, yeah, they're a year and a half out.
Yeah.
If you buy something used, well, if you find it and you go there and you like it, it's there. You pick it up, you take it home.
Okay, so let's hop to the other side of the fence now, to the used arena. So pros, we'll start there for used. Number one, cost, right? You're going to pay a lot less in most cases for a used RV than you are new. It's just the way it is.
Also, if you buy used, you may be able to get much more RV than if you bought new. So for example, if we were gonna buy a new Prevost coach, that's unrealistic for us, but one that's maybe 15 years old is realistic. That will probably cost what a new, like middle of the line diesel pusher would be. So you may be able to get much better, more coach for your money.
So we had mentioned this with the new, but a pro of this, it's broken in already. All those little annoying things that happen when you first get an RV, in many cases, they're gonna be taken care of already by the owner that had it before you.
So we've had 2 RVs, and majority of the problems we had were within the first 6-8 months or so. Taking it out, things would go wrong. Just from the factory, they cheap things out. They don't do them the way they should be done, and you go and you fix those things, and then you don't have problems, right? So that's a big thing. If the previous owner actually cared and took care of those problems, now you let them have those problems and you enjoy their work.
The next thing is, I know whoever gets Nellie after us, you're getting a lot of upgrades and perks that the time was taken by the owner that had it, all right? So the stuff that we've done to Nellie is just ridiculous, right? The amount of upgrades and things we've changed on her. So that's a perk for somebody who's gonna get it. I mean, they're all, I think, really good upgrades, so it's not something that people wouldn't want, but it's already done for you. The hard work's done.
Yeah, if you're buying a gas motorhome like we have, it almost becomes necessary to do the suspension upgrades, at least on anything previous to 2021. I don't know, 21, they changed the chassis, may be different, but coming out of the factory, the suspension is really bad, and these upgrades, they're $5,000 or so, or more. If you have them installed, it could be even more. So whoever buys Nellie, they don't have to worry about that. The suspension upgrades were done and they saved that money. So touching back on the insurance, if you buy something used, if it's worth less money, the insurance is probably going to be lower. The premium, the rates are going to be lower. Also, less depreciation. Now, that's not to say that it's not going to depreciate, because it is. It's a depreciating asset, if you want to call it that. But from when you drive off that lot, new, it depreciates greatly, and then it kind of slows down after that. So if you buy something a couple of years old, you're not going to take that huge hit up front.
Another pro, really, of a used coach, in many cases, is it's coming from someone, hopefully, who cared about it and took pride in it. Again, for us, as you know, we take a lot of pride in the upkeep, the maintenance, the cleanliness of Nellie. So somebody who's going to buy a used RV from somebody who really cared about it, you're getting a good RV.
A little later in this video, we're going to talk about certain things to look for if you're buying a used RV.
So the cons of a used RV, number one, it could be damaged. There could be leaks that you don't know about. There could be mold. And of course, we're going to talk in a bit just about how to deal with that. Sometimes you just don't know what you're getting, right? It could be a dishonest owner, so you're taking a chance there. Next one is you're not getting a warranty in most cases. If you buy a coach that was just purchased and somebody just got rid of it, you know, and you're getting that, and it may still be under warranty, but in most cases, you're going to be out of warranty. All right, the next one is it's not yours. So you didn't pick the colors, you didn't pick the furniture, you didn't pick anything in it. So you're getting what somebody else's choices were. Maybe it is yours, so that's great. And you can always change those things too, but just know that you're getting somebody else's RV.
When you're buying used, you may have a limited selection, or maybe not, because when you're buying used, you have, I mean, just way more years to choose from.
And in COVID times, probably in about a year from now, you're gonna have a huge selection, which we've talked about in other videos.
You're also gonna wanna budget some money for potential repairs and upgrades. Now, you should do this for any motorhome, but if you buy a new motorhome and you pick it out the way you want, you're probably not gonna do many upgrades. If you're buying a used one, say a 15-year-old Prevost, it may be a little dated, and you're gonna wanna budget some money, A, for repairs that it's probably gonna need, and B, to bring it up to speed, bring it up to the 21st century, you know what I mean? And then the final thing is gonna be the ability to finance and higher interest rate, and we'll touch on each. So a lot of banks will not finance motorhomes that are older than like 10, 15 years old. They just won't do it. So you're gonna have to have that capital, that cash, to pay for it. If you do get financing, it's almost guaranteed it's gonna be a higher rate than it's going to be on a new motorhome, and also the term is probably going to be less. So if you're buying a 12-year-old motorhome, highly likely you're not going to get a 20-year loan, although we don't recommend getting a 20-year loan anyway, but it's likely it's going to be a much shorter term loan.
All right, so now just a couple little tidbits of info, general, in terms of buying. If you're looking at new, you really want to be getting 35 to 40% off MSRP. During COVID, that ain't gonna happen in most cases, okay? Somebody will probably comment, I got it. Good for
you.
But in most cases, it's not gonna happen.
Now, just understand, this is gonna be very brand dependent. So 25% is like minimum. You should never be paying more than at least 25% off MSRP for any brand. But there's certain brands that you're probably not gonna get 40% off. Like, for example, like a Thor, or a Berkshire, something like that, it's not unheard of to hear 42, 45%, not now, because they're selling. But if you're gonna get a Newmar or a Tiffin, if you get 30% off, that's a really good deal. More than likely 25 to 28% off. And there's some other brands that are the same. They're just people pay premium dollar for them. A good place to shop, and I'm not saying to buy, to shop for an RV, is an RV show. Now, you can get a good deal at an RV show, but the RV show prices, the special prices, that's BS. Yeah. They're not the special price. They're always negotiable. And most of the time when you look at those special prices, they're not even a good price.
Right.
Like you said, 25% off, just do the calculations. A lot of times they'll be 20% off. And that's a special show price that day only. Not true. Why it is good to shop at an RV show, again, not purchase, shop, is that you have the opportunity, especially at these larger RV shows, to see literally thousands of RVs. You could walk on them. You could talk to the salesman, although a lot of times the salesmen don't know anything. But you can talk to the manufacturer reps. Yeah, you can talk to the manufacturer reps who will be there. Those people know what's going on. Yeah. And you could actually talk to the people that put the parts in those RVs. So if there's, say, a Firefly system, Firefly may have a rep from at that RV show that you can talk about them in depth, and they're gonna know more than anybody about those systems. So that's the real advantage of going to an RV show, to browse, to shop.
Okay, so the next thing, don't be in a rush like we were, okay? We did better the second time, but the first time was ridiculous, same day. But take your time. We have many subscribers who have been searching for quite a while, and I think that's great. Take your time, especially now. Don't just jump at anything. Very important, you will hear us say this a million times over, new or used, we recommend getting an RV inspection, all right? New and used. You never know what's going on with people that own it or at the manufacturers, so you want to get that checked.
And we have firsthand experience of seeing a trailer, and we did a video on it, we'll link it above. Firsthand experience of a new trailer, it's not new anymore, but from the manufacturer, that it had a water leak. The dealership didn't do their PDI, and it wound up destroying the trailer, causing tens of thousands of dollars in damage. You don't want to do that, and I understand it's under warranty. That doesn't matter. Get an inspection. If you're paying, listen, if you're paying $20,000, that's a travel trailer. What is $500 for an inspection?
Right.
For peace of mind, and potentially making that dealer fix it before you sign the paperwork. Fix it before you leave, because you try to get back there it may be a problem.
NRVIA.org, I believe. We'll double check that and we'll put the link below. But that is a great place to find a third-party inspector. People are always asking us that.
That's the only place that you really should be looking. That's the only national certification for RV inspections. That's where you want to go to find an RV inspector in your area. Now, we're also going to talk about test drives, and this is really more for the motorized. I don't think many dealerships are going to let you hook up a fifth wheel and drive it. That's just not going to happen. But motorized, 100% test drive them. It doesn't matter what price point. Like if you're buying a $3 million Prevost, yeah, test drive it. If you're buying a $100,000 Thor, a $50,000 van, test drive it. If a dealership has a problem with that, that's not the dealership to go to. We've been to dealerships now, multiple ones. You call ahead, listen, I'm interested in this motorhome. I'm not buying it that day, but I want to test drive it. They should be welcoming you to test drive that. That's one sign of maybe that's a dealership you want to deal with. If they blow you off and tell you go scratch, well, go to another dealership. 100% test drive motorhomes. Regarding used, the guide, the standard guide is the NADA guide. You can go right online and you put in the year, make, model, options, mileage, and it's going to tell you what the suggested retail price is, private party, you can kind of get an idea of trade-in. Also, you're going to want to compare that to the area you're in. Some markets are going to be cheaper, like Florida, Arizona, where they're loaded with motorhomes. You might get a better deal down there than if you come up to New Jersey, where there's like 3 RV dealerships and they're dry.
And everything's higher priced anyway.
Right, so if you buy something up here, you're probably not going to get the price if you bought it down in Florida or Arizona. So check that guide.
All right, linebacker MJ here. So we told you to stick to the end and we will let you know what we're thinking of buying, what we're leaning towards. And at this point, definitely used. And we have our reasons. There's many.
There's many reasons. It's just that we want to upgrade to a higher end coach. And the reality is, and logically speaking, it doesn't make sense for us to spend so much money on a new coach when we can get maybe more of a coach for less money.
Right. And that's really our goal, to get more for less.
So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to share this video with others. Again, the RV market is really hot. People are going to be interested in this video. In the comments below, if you bought an RV, what did you do? Did you buy new or did you buy used and you made the smart decision that hopefully next time we will be doing? If you like the video, feel free to hit the like, thumbs up, and to the left of us over here, we're going to put our RV DIYs as well as our RV essential upgrades. And for myself and MJ, we thank you guys for watching and we'll see you on the road.